Okay, so there was the Al Smith dinner, and for the first time in a long time, a Democrat didn't attend. Now, this is quite historic in many ways, my lovelies, because, well, it was a perfect time for one person, Donald Trump, to roast Democrats, to make fun of them, but yet Kamala did respond to it. And I want to give a huge shout out to Alan Myron, who's a longtime viewer of the show, who posted Kamala's recorded video response for not being there. And it's pretty stupid. It's very stupid, okay? But first, listen, I love a good laugh. And since Kamala wasn't there to defend herself, because maybe she really can't take the roasting that happens at an Al Smith dinner, I found this to be funny and quite hilarious. So, top 5 roasts from Donald Trump making fun of Democrats.
I used to think the Democrats were crazy for saying that men have periods, but then I met Tim Walz.
Oh!
Well, I'd better wrap up because Mayor Adams told me earlier that I needed to make this one very quick, especially the city has reserved this room for a large group of illegal aliens coming in from Texas. There's a group called White Dudes for Harris. Have you seen this? White Dudes for Harris. Anybody know? Are some of you here? White Dudes for Harris doesn't sound like it. But I'm not worried about them at all because their wives and their wives' lovers are all voting for me.
Ah! Oh! But see, here's the thing: those white dudes for Harris, I don't think they please their women. I mean, the name White Dudes for Harris. I remember covering that story about those guys. They look like a bunch of losers, and I feel sorry for their wives. Oh, I feel sorry for their families, okay? White Dudes for Harris. Look, and there's Chucky Boy Schumer. Chucky Boy Schumer just seems so angry. He seems so sad. He's really trying to keep it all in. Why didn't Kamala attend?
Their wives' lovers are all voting for me. A major issue in this race is childcare, and Kamala has put forward a concept of a plan. A lot of people don't like it. The only piece of advice I would have for her in the event that she wins would be not to let her husband, Doug, anywhere near the nannies.
Oh. See, now that hurts. That's well, no, actually, you know what? Actually, no, that's actually funny. That's funny. I'm laughing. Listen, liberals, if Kamala's so strong, and I better not hear the excuse of, she's out there campaigning. No, because even Hill Dog showed up to to the one in 2016, and Trump was roasting her. Okay, so maybe I'm just gonna speculate here. Maybe Kamala just didn't have a clever writer for her so that she can make jokes about Trump. Or maybe Kamala would just be freezing and laughing the whole time. Maybe it was a good thing that Kamala didn't show up because maybe she would have really froze up.
Keep him away. That's a nasty one. Chuck Schumer is here looking very glum. Doesn't he look glum? He looks glum.
Oh, look. Oh, Chuck Schumer's holding up his hands like, I'm a big boy now. Look at me. He looks so glum. That's funny, actually.
Very glum. Doesn't he look glum? He looks glum. But look.
Who's a good boy, Chucky? Say your name. What? Say your name, Chucky boy. My name is Reek. Reek rhymes with freak. Say it again. Look at him. He's petting him like a dog. You are the leading senator for the Democratic Party, Chucky boy. You gonna let him pet you like a dog like that?
Doesn't he look glum? He looks glum. But look on the bright side, Chuck, considering how woke your party has become. If Kamala loses, you still have a chance to become the first woman president.
That was funny. That was funny. Democrats, keep on failing upwards as you should. And look, there's a little bit of a longer version of the joke about the white dudes for Harris. Because don't worry, we're gonna get to Kamala's response, whatever the hell that was.
There's a group called White Dudes for Harris. Have you seen this? White Dudes for Harris. Anybody know? Are some of you here? White Dudes for Harris doesn't sound like it. But I'm not worried about them at all because their wives and their wives' lovers are all voting for me. Every one of those people is voting for me. There's a group called.
Now, many of you might be wondering, where was Kamala? What was her response? Now, she didn't show up. Now, at this event, there's a lot of roasting and making fun of people. Uh, you know, and it's supposed to be a way of joking around. But I don't know who told her this was a good idea. I want to give a huge shout out to Alan Myron, who retweeted this out. But this was Kamala Harris's response. This does not show strength. This shows stupidity. And somebody thought this was a good idea. Somebody said to Kamala, go ahead and do this by having a former actress from SNL. Remember that character from 30 years ago that's no longer relevant? Stop. Yeah. No, she actually really did this.
Cool. Oh, sorry.
Hey, what's going on? Who was that?
Oh, sorry, Mary Catherine Elliott. Mary Catherine Elliott. It's so nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you, Mary Catherine. Right now I'm trying to record my speech for tonight's dinner.
Oh, yeah, I know. I just want to say that I'm Catholic, and tonight is one of the biggest dinners next to the Last Supper.
It is a very important dinner, and it's an important tradition that I'm so.
Why? This is so robotic. This is so scripted. This is supposed to be funny. You didn't show up to the dinner, you moron. You should have showed up. I don't care. All right. And yes, it's a Catholic event, but it's a major event. And I'm going to explain why it's a major event, because the last president not to attend was a guy named Walter Mondale. He lost 49 out of the 50 states. I know that's a big shocker, but just throwing it out there. This is dumb.
So proud to be a part of.
Sometimes when I get nervous, I stick my fingers under my arms and I simmer them like that. But that's gross.
So tell me something. I'm giving a speech. Do you have some thoughts about what I might say tonight?
My feelings about what you should say tonight would be best expressed in a monologue from one of my favorite made-for-TV series.
Okay, let's hear it.
Don't you see, man? We need a woman to represent us. A woman brings more heart, more compassion. And think how smart she must be to become a top contender in a field dominated by men. It's time for a woman, bro. And with this woman, we can fly.
I need a drink after that. Then yes, folks, I know it's in Chicago time right now. It's 9:52 a.m. But after the show, I'm pouring a shot of Templeton Rye. That's Alphonse Capone's favorite drink too, by the way. And in this household, Alphonse Capone's is a saint. But I got to tell you, that was just dumb. Here, just so you can feel the pain again, because all of you need to have a drink too.
Don't you see, man? We need a woman to represent us. A woman brings more heart, more compassion. And think how smart she must be to become a top contender in a field dominated by men. It's time for a woman, bro. And with this woman, we can fly.
What series was that from?
Oh, that's from House of Dragons, now streaming on HBO Max.
Is there anything that you think?
And in this household, we're Team Green. Rhaenyra doesn't deserve the throne. There, I said it. Team Green.
That maybe I shouldn't bring up tonight?
Well, don't lie. Thou shalt not bear false witness to thy neighbor.
Indeed, especially thy neighbor's election results.
Just so you know, there will be a fact checker there tonight.
Oh, that's great. Who?
Jesus. And maybe don't say anything negative about Catholics.
I would never do that, no matter where I was. That would be like criticizing Detroit in Detroit.
Does it bother you that Trump guy insults you all the time? Because it really bothers my friends and me.
Oh, Mary Cat.
Who greenlit this? I'm being serious. Who thought this was a good idea? I really want to know who. A bird goes tweet and I'll go. You know what? Hey, we got to get Commissar Hans. Step aside for Chief Commissariat of the Political Police, Commissar Hans. See, that's funnier, okay? Commissar Hans trying to figure out who was the dumb idiot who gave this a green light. All right? Don't worry. It always ends the same. Commissar Hans just sends them to the wall.
Catherine, it's very important to always remember you should never let anyone tell you who you are. You tell them who you are.
Haters gonna hate, hate, hate. Shake it off.
Shake it off.
Shake it off.
Shake it off.
Madam
Good for you, Mary
they're ready.
Catherine.
Oh, yeah, okay. And also remember one more thing. Don't worry if you make a mistake, 'cause Catholic people are very forgiving. Yeah. And also, one last thing I want to tell you, don't forget to say superstar.
Thank you, Mary Catherine.
Thank you, Kamala.
Thank you.
Oh, God. If she becomes president, I don't think we're going to make it, folks. And no, I'm not trying to just sound like, oh, a woman can't do the job. No, no, no. It's just not her. Okay. Not Kamala. She just doesn't have what it takes. All right. Willie Brown, I will curse your name till the day I die, as should everybody else in the free world. Because how dare you put this upon us? Willie, Heartlands Media deems you the enemy of the world because of what you've done. You are forever on the SHITE list, okay? The shite list. Well, let's go ahead and get a response from Trump because he did respond to why she didn't show up.
So he can't go to court, so that's okay, but he's allowed to be president. So there's something wrong with our country when that happens. But I thought last night's it was great. I think it was terrible that she missed it because it's only been one person missed it in many years, and that's Walter Mondale, and he lost 49-1.
But let me ask you, why do you think she
God
missed
was
it?
not with her.
Mr. President, why do you think she missed it? There's a lot of theories.
Okay, I think that she's not competent. I don't want to say this kind of stuff, but we can't live with this. We're not going to be able to live
So you
with
don't
it.
think she's funny?
I don't think she's funny. I don't.
She's not confident. She's not funny. She's a robot. She has nothing. Nothing. I remember the Democratic primary of 2020. Why is it that I'm the... No, because I know my audience. All of you know too. Okay. But for some reason, liberals, I mean, you are in this collective denial. I mean, look, the whole house could be on fire. And liberals will say, this is fine. It's nice and warm in here. And before anyone says, oh, gee, kid, you're constantly ragging, they're making it easy, man. A lot of these smug liberals. Yes, I'm being petty. Okay. I'm being petty for a lot of reasons. Okay. Hey, all you smug people say, oh, you guys at Hardlands Media were wrong. Biden won. I was like, okay, Biden won. Okay, whatever. Can he still maintain his relevancy? Can he still maintain his political power? Oh, you guys are wrong. Trump's not going to run again. Oh, he did. And all this. Hey, you pink pussy hats. Where are you now? Where are you now?
We can't live with this. We're not going to be able to live
So you
with
don't
it.
think she's funny?
I don't think she's funny. I don't look her staff. She's got 5% of her staff stayed with her. 95% quit. If that happened to me, I'd be front page of every. Nobody likes her. Nobody wants to be with her. And I only say this. I don't like even saying it, but we can't have her as a president. She's a Marxist. We're not ready for a Marxist. Do you agree with that, Amy?
Trump. Okay, listen, Trumpers, listen. I know you guys like to throw out the word communism, Marxism, Leninism, Stalinism, socialism. Kamala's not a socialist. Kamala's not a Marxist. She's not a communist. She's none of these things, okay? And before you guys start throwing stones, just remember, Trumpers, corporate media called all of you communists, okay? So, and I know that there's going to be some, we're not communists. Well, corporate media, see, you don't like it when someone calls you names, okay? Stop saying it. And look, I'm not a socialist. I'm not a communist, right? I'm a progressive. I'm independent. But even I know Kamala has nothing in common with communism, okay? She has nothing in common with socialism. Nothing in common with Marxism. Just call her a neoliberal corporatist, okay? I know it's a different word, but trust me on it. That's what she defines as. That's what she is. Those are her pronouns. Neoliberal corporatist. There. oh, you can't call us communists. Well, Mark Cuban called you communist, and Obama called Trump Fidel Castro. So you know what? Now we're even. Now we're even.
I do agree with you.
And
I
Ava
think
has
a
a question.
Marxist,
Yeah, let me ask you this.
and she's not very good. Let's just face it.
Cl-
So he can't go.
Okay, so let's go ahead and bring up something else here too, because we should bring up the fact of Mr. Mondale.
We're disappointed. We were looking forward to giving the vice president an enthusiastic welcome. And we were confident that she would find this. You know, she speaks very much about the high ideals and how it's good to get away from division and come together in unity and all. Well, that's what the L. Smith dinner is all about. We haven't given up yet. We're not used to this. We don't know how to handle it. This hasn't happened in 40 years since Walter Mondale turned down the invitation. And remember, he lost 49 out of 50 states. I don't want to say there's a direct connection there. But so we're not used to this, and we're not giving up. You know who's been a help to us, Lauren, is Senator Schumer and Governor Hochul. They both are working hard to see that they convince her to come.
So there's still a chance.
Yeah, and Senator Schumer said to me, he said, I don't think she made the decision. I think her schedulers are saying she can't make it. So we're not giving up. We hope she's here.
So I mentioned Mondale, right? Okay, I mentioned that. Okay, right. But let's actually talk about what's going on here, okay? Because Mondale ran as a VP for Jimmy Carter, right? Because he didn't attend. A lot of people didn't attend, but I just want to pull this up here. Here we go. Now look at that. Look at that. All right, now that was Carter and Mondale running, right? That was Carter and Mondale running with an independent in the race. Now, hold on here, folks. I'm just bringing up the first one, okay? Now, why is this important? Because this is extremely important. Because we're dealing with a campaign that just doesn't have what it takes. That doesn't have what it takes, especially when you look at an election in which let me go ahead and pull this up here. The 1984 presidential election. This was 1984. Now, this was even a bigger defeat. And homie, Walter Mondale, did not attend that dinner. Now, he only got one state, and he also got Washington, D.C., which means nothing. That was his map. That was the map for 1984. Now, I don't know how election night will play out on November 5th. Anything can happen. Anything will happen. But I do bring this to Democrats, and this is something that they should be concerned about. Voter turnout and enthusiasm is key. But if the best your candidate can do for a big dinner like that is not show up and then have a cringe SNL character from 30 years ago on there talking about superstar and then explaining in the most arrogant of ways why we need a woman president, maybe that's not going to inspire things. Maybe that explains why when we covered on this show, why Black voters, Latino voters, Asian voters, white voters, men, women, young and old, aren't enthusiastic about Kamala. Because the more she talks, the more cringe she is. And I saw this happen in the primaries of 2020. We all did. And then Tulsi Gabbard destroyed her not once but twice during two of the primary debates. And she didn't even make it all the way to the first primary state because her campaign went broken belly up. If this is the best that Kamala can do, doing cringe skits, making excuses for not showing up, it's not funny, then maybe this job is too much for her. I'm not saying a woman can't be president. I'm just saying Kamala as president would be a terrible thing. Now, I'm going to vote third party and independent. I believe in that. Yes, I believe in voting third party and independent. I'm not going to support a Democratic politician. I'm sure as hell not going to support a Republican politician. But Democrats, if this is the best you can do, excuse after excuse, no wonder you guys are floundering and begging me for money.